You've got ideas, you've got ambition, you've got no time, or so you think. I'm Marissa Lonick, and I help busy moms with big dreams and no time. Join me each week as I dive into time management strategies, goal setting and achieving framework, and inspiring guests who are juggling mom life, work life, fill in the blank life. Dreams don't work unless you do, and just because you're a mom doesn't mean you can't still make it happen, whatever it means to you. Welcome to the Mama Work It podcast. Hello, mama friends. Welcome back to another awesome episode of the Mama Work It podcast. I am so excited you're here. In case you're new around here, I'm Marissa Lonick, your host, working mom of four, founder of Mama Work It, where we support women in the juggle of mom life, work life, wife life, fill in the blank life, all the hats that we wear. We're here to help you with that overwhelm. So today, I'm super excited to introduce you to our guest. Her name is Eileen Joy, and she is a money coach for moms. She's the host of Moms Who Money podcast, and she's the founder of Money School for Moms. She makes money easy for moms in order to create wealth, fill their bank accounts, be debt-free, while still having fun, stop living paycheck to paycheck, and teach their kids how to have a healthy money mindset and really set them up for life. Her 11-year-old son knows more about money than most adults. Eileen created an easy system that any busy mom can follow and specializes in working with high-achieving professional moms, hello, you guys, who are committed to investing in themselves and their children and know that money is their next step. So Eileen has created a safe and comfortable environment to learn about one of the most avoided and taboo subjects, money. So no more shame, guilt, embarrassment. We are here to talk about all things money in today's episode. Eileen, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much, Marissa, for having me today. We're going to have so much fun talking about money.
I can't wait. I love me some money, so I'm all about it. All right. So Eileen, firstly, I always love to ask guests, just tell us a little bit more about your background, your journey, like what got you into this world about money?
It was an interesting story, actually, how I became the money coach for moms. It all started with my divorce. And during my divorce, I had run out of money. And while I was interviewing all of the divorce attorneys, that was one of the first questions that I asked. You know, divorce is so expensive. This is how much money I have. Do you think this will be enough? Will this be a problem? And not one of them said, no, that won't be a problem. Well, it was a problem. So I ran out of money really fast. And at that time, I had to sell my house to pay for my divorce. I had to get a new job. At the time, I had a great job, but I was working with my sister-in-law, now ex-sister-in-law, and the work environment just became pretty toxic, and I had to leave. And then my son and I got into a really bad car accident. And my car was totaled. We both ended up in the hospital. I'm still dealing with a neck injury. And this was all happening during my divorce and at the tail end of a bankruptcy. And then at the end of the day, when my divorce was final, I received a check in the mail from my attorney's office because they had seized everything that I had to make sure that they got paid first before I could have any of my own money. And it was a check for $347. And that was all I had left in the world. After my divorce, I was now a single mom with a 5-year-old and $347, had to get a new house, new job, new car, start all over. And after I picked myself up off the floor from crying in the fetal position, I was said, you know what? Right? I have to figure this out. I'm a single mom with a 5-year-old and I have to figure this out, you know? So I just put one foot in front of the other and just started moving forward. And I bounced back so fast. I had a fully funded emergency fund. I paid off that car. I had the brand new car I had to get. I had a 6-year car loan, paid that off in 3 years, completely debt-free, repaired my credits, now in the 800s. And I'm on track to retire early. And all of my friends were shocked. And they're like, Eileen, how did you do this? Show me what you did. And so I just started helping my friends and showing them this is what you do with your money. Like when you get paid, this is what you do to create wealth and fill your bank accounts and be debt free and stop living paycheck to paycheck. Right. And then I also learned along the way that I realized that we don't learn about money in school, right? And we're just kind of thrown out into the wolves and we're expected to just understand what to do with our money. And our kids aren't learning about it either. So I started teaching my son all about money as well. And I empowered him with a financial education. And now, yeah, he knows a lot about money, like way more than adults do. And when adults ask him questions about money, they're just dumbfounded at his responses. And so one day my son and I were talking and he said, Mommy, you're helping all these moms with their money. He said, you need to help more moms. And we had this really deep conversation. And I said, you know what? You're right. I do. And that's when Moms Who Money was born. And I've just been helping moms and their kids ever since. And it's just been the most rewarding and most fun experience in my life.
I love that. And I love that. I mean, I don't love that you hit rock bottom during that period. That's challenging, and I'm sure that was a really difficult time for you. But I love hearing that even at that low point, you were able to make such, not even a recovery and a comeback, but like even you were even further and better along than you'd been. I mean, it's just so inspiring and exciting. And I mean, for people listening, whether you're in that low point or you're not, it's so possible. And I can't wait for Eileen to tell us more about how she did this. So before we get started on that, curious, how is a money coach different from a financial advisor? Because we've had financial advisors on the show, we've had like money experts on the show, but what's really the big difference there, and why do you need one or the other or both?
So there is a very big difference. And the biggest difference is that a financial advisor is someone that you go to, and generally they get a commission for the service that they provide to you. And so every time that they handle your money or they're investing your money, so every time that they make money on your money, I mean, every time that you make money, they make money, right? And that's how the commission works with a financial advisor. And you basically give them your trust and say, here's my money, please handle this for me. And it's generally just investments. It's not the day to day, like, here, pay my bills with my money, right? And that's what a money coach is. So a money coach is me who helps you and teaches you what to do with your money, right? And so you get paid. And then what? That's what I teach you how to do. And I teach the 4 buckets. And the 4 buckets are simply saving, investing, giving, and spending. And I teach you how to use these buckets all by yourself with no help. Like, I was actually able to fire my financial advisor, and now I just do it myself. And I teach moms how to invest on their own. My son invests by himself. It's just amazing that these things, you can do them yourself, unless you have some complicated estate and you have like a very, very, very robust income that comes from many sources. Then you might need to see a financial advisor. And there are some financial advisors out there that are fee only, where you can go see them and pay one fee, and they don't make money every time that you make money. And so you can go there, they can give you their advice, you can set everything up and move on with your life and not have to lose money every time you make money. And so what I do is teaching you how to use these buckets and set them up and learn how to create wealth for yourself. Learn where to put your money so that it works for you and that you're filling your bank accounts. And that then we set up a plan. If you're in debt, we get you out of debt. You'll be debt free. And then stop living paycheck to paycheck, which 78% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck right now. And it's really, really a sad situation. And no one knows how to get out of it. Everyone feels stuck. And all the women that come to me just feel so stuck. And they're also in this shame spiral of like, I shouldn't be here. I'm in such a good place in my life. I'm so successful, but I just feel like I should be further ahead. And I'm not. But you know what? It's not your fault. No one ever taught you about money. So, with these really high expectations on ourselves to know it all and to do it all and be it all. And, we're the moms that do it all, right? We have our superhero capes on, right? And 27 hats on all at the same time, spinning around, losing our shit, right? And trying to keep it all together. But no one ever taught us about money. And so all you just have to take a step back and know that it's okay. And all you need to do is just ask for help.
Yeah. So much truth in what you said. Well, first off, yeah, why is there not more education on this topic? We learn about parallelograms and things that I've never thought about since
Yep.
middle school and high school, but no one teaches you really the ins and outs of managing your money. So that's a problem in our system. But also, something that you said that really stood out to me is that high achieving women, we have a problem with always wanting to be 5 steps ahead, and kind of the self judgment, and why are we not where we want to be? And even if we've hit that success mark at work or at wherever we've wanted to get there, like something's off and something's not right. So while I think there's definitely stuff we can learn on this episode, I also want to mention the fact that, like, we got to stop being so damn hard on ourselves too.
I wholeheartedly agree. I actually just did a podcast episode about beating yourself up so much, about where you feel like you should be somewhere, should in air quotes, right? And you're shitting all over yourself. And meanwhile, you're doing everything.
Mm-hmm.
And you put so much pressure on yourself. And then because you're putting so much pressure and you want everything to be perfect, then you start procrastinating on everything because you're so overwhelmed and burnt out. I procrastinate. I don't know. Does anybody else procrastinate?
Yes. I call it productive procrastination. Yes. I like the procrastinate expression though. Okay. Yeah. I like that you said this.
And it's what I do. Like, when I notice that's exactly what I do. And one of my mentors actually called me out on it. She always calls me out on my BS. And I'm like, well, I was cleaning. And she's
good mentor.
like, oh, yeah, she's really good. She's like, oh, you're procrastinating again. I'm like, yes, I was. But, we all do that because we all overdo, overthink, overwhelm ourselves with everything because we want everything to be just right. And then we're not taking care of ourselves properly. We beat ourselves up, and then especially with the money piece, it goes ignored because it's the piece that you're still making money. You have a house to live in, right? So it's not really a problem, right? But it is. And it's one of those things that we tend to ignore because it's not something that's like with me, I hit rock bottom. And so for me, I had to face it in that moment or else, but I have to tell you, it's so much easier if you're not at rock bottom to get everything right. And it's just so much easier to just start now.
Mm-hmm.
So that you don't ever hit rock bottom, and you
Mm-hmm.
won't ever hit rock bottom because you'll be in control of it. And the really cool thing about learning about money is that you pay attention to it for a little bit and you get everything set up, and then we automate it, and then you can go back to not really paying attention to it again. You still look at it, but not the same, and it's working for you all the time. And it really all goes down to, it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. And this is really where I feel that most of the clients that come to me have the issue of, well, I just spend it and spend it and spend it and spend it, right? And so I don't know how to save money because I don't have any. I make so much money. I have a great job, but I don't know where it goes. It's just gone, you know? And there's a plenty of financial advisors out there that won't even work with you unless you have a specific amount of money. And which, in my opinion, I don't feel that's right, because you can start investing with $20. Like, you don't need to have multiple 6 figures just to get started. My son is investing. He gets a few dollars a week allowance. It's like he's putting money away. And and it's like, all of the information that's out there makes you feel like money is hard and that you can't do it and you're going to be stuck forever. And so you just never really take the steps to move forward to figure it out. And
Mm-hmm.
it's really just asking for help. And it's really not hard. It really is easy. Once you really just take a look at it, so many people say that to me. My clients are like, oh, I don't know why I waited so long, you know?
It sounds like from what you're saying, and I'm sure you can dive a little bit deeper into this on the show, but it sounds like from what you're saying, the key is really getting ahead and getting organized. And when I say getting ahead, I don't mean like getting ahead with the dollar amount. I mean getting ahead of like your paycheck every month
Mhm.
before it even hits the account and knowing where that money is going to go. Is that
Yes.
accurate?
Yes. So I have a 4-step framework that I
Mm-hmm.
use with my clients, and that's part of it. So the first part is mindset. It's MAVY, the MAVY framework. So the first step is mindset because everyone's money mindset is stuck in shame, embarrassment, anxiety, terror, even. I've had people come to me that have multiple for 6-figure jobs and are terrified to look at their money, right? So I help them through that. We figure out where did that come from, right? Why am I so afraid to look at my money, right? Before we even look at the money, right? Because it could cause you to go even down an even worse spiral. And then
Mm-hmm.
from there, once we get through all of that and we we figure out like what's your money story, right? And then we learn how to rewrite that money story. We move on to your awareness, the A, right? So awareness, what's coming in, what's going out. How much does it cost to be you? Right? No one really knows how much does it cost to be you, right? And if you think like, how much does it cost to be Marissa? Do you know? Right? And it's like you think about these things that you've never thought about before, right? And then we move on to your goals. And that's where the important part comes in of your money needs a purpose, right? And you hear all this talk out there about emergency funds and all of these things that where you need to put your money here and you need to put your money here and you need to put your money here, but they never tell you why really. It's like you just need to have a pile of money over here just in case, right? But that pile of money that you have usually tends to just start dwindling because it has no purpose, right? So once you start becoming aware of what's coming in, what's going out, what's really important to you and your values, that's the V, your values, right? What's really important to you most, what makes you happy, what brings you joy, we can then create an extraordinary life, right? We can make all of your dreams come through your money. And so we then figure out, well, what's really important to you? And we then say, okay, well, this emergency fund is for this reason, right? And you can have more than one emergency fund. You can have a travel fund. You can have a fund if you have pets and they have very expensive vet bills. There's all different, car repair, like all these different day to day things that we just don't think about. And then these unexpected, expected expenses come up, right? And we prepare for those. And we go through all of the things in your life because personal finance is personal. No one's life's the same, right? No one has the same income. No one has the same lifestyle. No one has the same family dynamic, whether you're married or single, you've got kids, all these different things, right? And so we think about what is your personal life, what's most important to you, and let's figure out where your money's going to go. And then you, the why, get to tell it what to do. You're in control, right? Instead of you getting paid and then, oh, oops, it's gone. And then there's more month left at the end of the money, right? When your money comes in, we give it a purpose, right? And so every dollar gets to do something special and you get to tell it what to do.
Love that. What if you're hearing this and you're like, I like some spontaneity?
Mm-hmm.
Tell us what you would say to someone who said that.
Easy. We plan for that too. I know it's weird to say we plan for spontaneity, but when you think of that word budget, like how do you feel? Do you feel like you're twisting
Yuck.
up like a raisin,
Yes.
right?
I feel so confined and like
Yes.
so many rules. And I mean, I'm not against a budget. I've followed budgets in various seasons of life. I'm, basically still on a budget these days, but like, yeah, that word is yucky.
It is yucky. It's like the word diet, right?
Mhm.
Budget and diet. And now I lost 130 pounds 20 years ago. And I was always,
Congratulations.
thank
Wow.
you. I always say I unzipped myself and stepped out. But, your mindset around dieting is the same mindset as budgeting, right? When you think of diet, you think you have to eat salad and rice cakes and just you can't eat pizza and ice cream and all these really yummy things that you really want to eat all the time, right? And you have to restrict yourself and you have to constantly say no to yourself, right? Like for me, when I was growing up, I would always ask, Mommy, can I have that? No. It was always some form of no, right? So when you think of budgeting, you feel that way. No, you can't have that. You have to pay your bills. You have to pay the electric bill and the cable bill and all that, right? And so you subconsciously your mind is saying no, right? And so you don't even want to think about the word budget because automatically before you even start setting it up, it's already no, I can't have what I want. My life's going to suck. I can't do anything fun, right? But this is the great part of budgeting. And the why of the MAVY framework is that you get to tell your money what to do. So we set money aside for fun, right? Like I even have a line in my budget that says guilt-free fun spending. And then I have, right? And then I have another one that says shit happens. And then I have, like, I name them whatever I want, right?
I love the sound of your budget. Just love it. It
goes
fun.
with my personality. But that's the thing. You get to tell your money what to do, right? Like you're the only one that knows what goes on in your life, right? And when you're always constantly comparing yourself to everyone else and you're like, oh, well, that person's doing that. I want to do that too. Or I want that and I want that. And, you're constantly just saying to yourself, I can't have that. I want that. And then you just go buy it, but now you can't pay the electric bill, And it's like just really taking a step back and looking at what you've got, knowing what you want, right? Getting that clarity of what do you want? What will make you happy? What kinds of things do you want to do in your life? And now, of course, it's the new year and we're all thinking about 2024. We're going to have a great year, like, your New Year's resolutions and goals and all these things. And you're just planning for the year. So why not start planning your money? Right. And like one of the things that I started doing that I really wanted to do more is I love to dance, but I don't get to go to the club anymore, really, But I still love to dance. So I started taking a hip hop class and like just for fun. It's an adult hip hop class. And our instructor used to be a backup dancer for many, many, many famous singers. And she's from Australia and she's so cool. We have so much fun. And, and it's really cool. And my son comes with me and sometimes he joins the class and he also takes a hip hop class. But, it's really, really cool and really, really fun. Right. And so I planned for that. Like, I want to take a dance class. I'm going to put money aside for that because that's something that I want to do. That's going to make me happy and I can get some stress out and, just move my body and I feel good after. And it's on my schedule, right? And I know I'm going to do it. And it's little things like this that you can start doing. And then, plan for spontaneity. You can even have a line in your budget. You can name it whatever you want, plan for, fun plan, plan for nights out or date night or whatever you want to call it, because you get to tell your money what to do. As long as the money comes in and then you plan for it, it's easy.
Yeah.
Right. And then as your life changes, you can change that too. You don't have to just do it once and then that's it. You can't change it.
I love it. I feel like your style of money management is really similar to my style of time management. So we are very much in sync here. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Because time is your most precious commodity.
It is.
It really is. And I highly, highly agree with you that you have to plan for your time the same way you have to plan for fun first, right? You plan for your life, your family, and then comes work.
Yeah. All right. One final question before we move on to our very fun lightning round here. So, what is like the one action step someone listening should take who wants to get more in control of their money after listening to today's episode?
The number one thing that you can do right now is just really draw a line in the sand, right? And just make a decision that you're going to take the reins and just take control of your money because so many of us just give our power away. And just make the decision that today's the day, right? Here's your permission slip. It's signed, ready to go. Here you go.
Mm-hmm.
And just always remember that you are your own best investment.
Oh, I love that. And I couldn't agree more. I have never, ever regretted spending money on developing myself. Have I regretted outfit choices? 100%. Shoe options? Yes. Even maybe like an electronic, but investing in myself, working with a coach, purchasing a course, the books, whatever it was that helped me learn and grow and develop into who I am and who I'm continuing to become. I never regret those decisions. So, such good advice.
I agree. I actually have a free gift to help you do
Yes.
that.
Oh, yes. Please tell us about it.
Okay. So I have this awesome gift that you can use with your kids so that
Okay.
you can start the money talk at home with the kids, because that's the most important part of normalizing money in the house. So it's called 6 Steps to Money Smart Kids, and you can get it at momswhomoney.com/kids.
I love that because, like you said, no one's teaching kids about money, right? And even if they were teaching it at school, let's just say they were, would it necessarily be the steps you would want the kids to be taking or following? Like maybe,
Mhm.
maybe not. We don't know. So, teaching it at home, I think, is the best way to really help educate and empower your kids on how to handle their money because believe it or not, come a few years, they're going to be on their own and managing their finances. And we got to help them get there, just like we got to help them learn to do their own laundry at some point.
Yeah, I actually gave that as a gift to my son for his 11th birthday. Oh, actually, his 10th birthday. His 10th birthday, his birthday gift was getting to do his own laundry.
Oh, that's an amazing gift. Did he like it?
It was amazing. I drew up a whole list of a laundry list. No. I drew up the instructions on how to use the washing machine, and I hung it up on the wall next to the washing machine, and I put a bow on it, and I said, "Look, I have a gift for you." And I brought him out to the laundry room. I opened the door. I'm like, "Ta-da!" He's like, "What the heck?"
We need to have you back on the show for parenting advice too.
Yeah, dishwashing was his 9th birthday. Hey, I'm a single mom. I need help.
100%.
Right?
Yes.
All moms need help, right?
Single mom or not.
Yeah.
These are great.
Yeah.
I mean, these are great
Yeah.
life skills to teach the
Yes.
kids, you know?
Yeah, I tell him that all the time. Like, he knows how to cook all my favorite things. In case mommy gets hurt, you need to know how to feed me.
Yes. Amazing.
Yeah.
All right, Eileen, on that note, we're going to jump on over to our lightning round. We're just going to ask you
Okay.
now some random, just for fun questions, just so our listeners can get to know you a little bit more personally. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Yes.
Okay. If they made a movie about your life, who would you want to play you?
Julia Roberts.
Great choice. Yes.
I love her.
Yeah. All right. What if you could have any superpower? What would it be?
To read people's minds.
That's so good. Mm-hmm.
I think it would be maddening, but also very enlightening. Only if I could turn it off.
I think you're right. Right? Some things you may not want to hear. Okay.
Yeah.
Would you consider yourself more of an introvert or an extrovert?
Both.
Mm.
I am both. It just depends on my mood. Like sometimes I do not want to leave the house or talk to anyone. And sometimes I'm climbing the walls and I need to be around people. And it's both. Like I could be a party animal or a hermit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get that. What book are you reading right now?
I'm actually reading 5 different books.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Tell us your top 2.
Oh my goodness. 2. I'm always reading, and I read like I watch TV shows. Like you could watch different TV, it's the same thing. I'll just pick up a book and I'm like, oh, I want to start that one. But one of the books I'm reading is, oh my God, I can't remember the name of it right now. It is Ask and It Is Given by Abraham Hicks. I read that book every year.
Love it.
And I always read it in January just to start my year off with like manifesting and talking about my dreams and, refreshing my memory on what I want out of life and stop telling myself to procrastinate. And and another book that I'm actually reading with my son. We like to read together. And I mentioned this just because, everyone here's a mom and I think it would be fun. But my son just started middle school this year. And we actually found that the famous author, James Patterson, who writes adult books, also has children's books. And he has a whole line called Middle School. And so we've been reading the series together, middle school, and it's hilarious. And it also gets my son to read more. I've been trying to get him to read more and get off the phone. He's like all into Pokemon all of a sudden. And I'm like, okay, put down the phone. Let's pick up a book.
Yeah, that's great. Do you
Yeah.
read out loud together, or do you both read independently and then talk about it? How does it work?
It depends on the book. Like the middle school books, we've been kind of reading together because we both enjoy them. So like he'll read a chapter, I'll read a chapter. But sometimes we'll just sit in bed. Like we'll sit in my bed and read, and I'll be reading my book and he'll be reading his.
Yeah.
And it's great. I love it. And we both journal together too at night, which is really fun.
I love all these amazing mother-son bonding moments that you guys
He's
have.
my best friend. Yeah.
I started reading I've got my oldest are 10. They're twins, boys. And I started reading the Harry Potter series to them a few years ago. We are currently on book 6. This book has taken us the longest time to get through. I mean, embarrassingly long, you guys. We're almost there. I think we're on our last 100 pages. I typically am the out loud reader for the three of us, although now they're at a level where they probably could take over a little bit. But we are determined. It is on our goal list, on our vision boards, that this year we will finish the series. So
you've got this.
You heard it, guys. Hold me
this.
accountable. It's happening. It's not like I don't enjoy it. It's, it's just like we'll do it at the end of the day. And sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, just go to bed. I can't.
Heard.
But yeah, so it's happening. I'm committed. All right. Last question. What is your go-to, like, get it done song?
I also have a playlist on my phone called Hype Up Songs, and I go through a whole bunch of songs. But like one of the songs that I really, really love is "Feeling Good" by Michael Bublé. Like I will just blast that song and scream at the top of my lungs, dance around.
Makes you feel good.
Yeah, it does. I also love "I Love Me" by Meghan Trainor. I don't know if you've heard of that one. That one's a fun one to sing in front of the mirror. I make my son do it with me. It's fun. It's hilarious actually watching him do it. He's like, "Mommy, I don't want to do this."
Do the mirror work. You'll
exactly.
end up much happier in life.
Love yourself, damn it.
You're instilling so many good things in that boy. Okay.
Trying.
All right, Eileen. Well, to wrap up, let our listeners know where they can find you. We're definitely going to link up that free gift in the show notes. Any other places where they can find you and connect with you?
The easiest place to find me is through my website, momswhomoney.com. You can find me everywhere. My podcast, my socials, everything's on there.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being a guest, for sharing all your wisdom, your humor. It was such a blast having you on the show.
I loved being here today. Thank you so much for having me. This was great.
You've been listening to the Mama Work It podcast. I hope you've enjoyed this episode and would love if you could take a quick minute to leave me a review on whichever platform you're listening from, and maybe even send a note to a fellow mama friend recommending it. Reviews and recs help this podcast grow and reach more like-minded, awesome moms. And if you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click that button so we can stay in touch, girl. By the way, if you haven't checked out the Mama Work It website, please do. There are lots of free resources and great articles there that can help you with the juggle of work life, mom life, wife life, fill in the blank life. So head on over. Thanks again for being part of the tribe. I'll see you soon, but in the meantime, keep on working it, mama.